Later on, when we will be sharing our data and analysis, we won't be sharing these multi-page reports. We'll actually be sharing dashboards. You and I, as the owners of these reports, have access to the data set and the report. But the people who we share this with, they'll start with a dashboard. So let's go there and see how dashboards work. I'm going to open up my workspace under Dashboards, Retail Analysis Sample Dashboard. We'll load, and you'll notice that many of these visualizations are the kind of visualizations we just saw in the report. They're actually not just the kind of, they are the visualizations from the report. Because how we create a dashboard is we take visualizations from the report and pin them here as tiles. Our users have some specific things that they can do within the dashboard. Remember that you and I are actually the owners of this dashboard, so if we make changes, they will be lasting changes. But if a user wanted to resize an item, there's a resizing button here in the corner. So they could change the size of a particular graphic by grabbing the corner and dragging it. And other items will move in response, you'll notice. There are other options on the More Options menu at the top, so a user could add a comment or could add a specific question. This is the way you start a conversation. Got 3 choices here. Enter your comments here, which might be, could we show this as we have in the past with 1 decimal place? And if I wanted to have somebody specific answer this question, then I could mention someone. So, for example, there I am at Geneva on Quarter. And then I will actually get notified about this. So I can post this, close it, have an entire conversation and comments. And notice that I can tell that there's a conversation here because there's an icon. I can also go to Q&A and ask a question, but Q&A is right here as well. I can open this specific tile in focus mode. What focus mode allows me to do is to see it writ large. Now, that's pretty silly with this tile, but if I look at a tile that has a lot of data in it, like this one, it might help me to be able to view this in focus mode, to be able to see legends more clearly, or to see my data points writ large. Each time you want to exit, there's a door out in the upper left-hand corner. I can edit details. I can ask for alerts. I can pin a tile, and because I am the owner, I can also delete a tile. One of the typical things a user will do, though, is they will use a tile to drill down to the data to get back to the report. So if I click this year's chains, notice that I'm taken right back to the report, and your users will be as well. And in the report, they can do some other interesting things. For example, I can use one visualization to filter another. So I have sales by 2 chains, Lindsay's and Fashions Direct. If I click on Lindsay's, notice that all of the other tiles now are being refreshed to just show Lindsay's data. These are just the Lindsay's stores, just the Lindsay's sales variants. And I can click on Fashions Direct and display just the information from Fashions Direct in each and every visualization in my report. I also have choices to add comments here, to export data, and so on. I can always refresh to see all of my data again. Or, if I prefer, I have, notice, filters here on the right-hand side that I can apply. So I can say, for example, I would like to look for specific districts, for specific store types, and so on. At any point, I can click the drop-down to see who should be contacted about this particular report and when it was last updated. I can always go back to my workspace to navigate back to a specific dashboard. And with the dashboards, as with the report, I can find out my contact here, and I can actually click here to send an email to this particular contact. We'll be creating dashboards later in the course. In the next few movies, we're going to be creating visualizations in reports like this one. But remember that if your goal is to be able to share your data with your colleagues or with Power BI consumers, you're creating the report so that you can create a dashboard.